faced your share of good running backs. What do you see in Travis Etienne?
He's a really patient runner. He follows his blocks, and he can take the ball anywhere. He's a really good player all around.
You guys seem to fix the tackling issues last week, but then again, Chattanooga didn't run the ball that much. Is it still going to be a focus, and how much of a focus going into this week?
Yeah, I mean, that'll be a focus for the remainder of the time that everyone's here. Like, that'll just be one of the things that we have to improve on as a program, as a whole. But, I mean, it's the same amount of emphasis the whole time.
Is it easier to get out of position against a back like Etienne because he is patient and he makes you wait and he makes you wait, and if you move, he's going to find that spot?
Yeah, definitely. So the biggest thing that we have to do is just hold our gaps and make him commit. You know that he's patient, so you just have to, pace him and don't overcommit.
Does that become more difficult in a rivalry game or any game where the emotion is high? Because I would imagine your instinct is go, go, go. Do you have to hold yourself down to some degree?
Yeah, you definitely, you want to play fast and make your reads as fast as possible, but at the end of the day, it's a game. I mean, you just don't want to get overly emotional with any game, and too much emotion will make you just make mistakes because you're thinking too much about just playing with how you feel instead of being smart.
Right.
Since they're so good in both phases, do you focus on trying to take one particular phase down, or how do you go about scheming and game planning?
Everyone do their job. Secondary cover the routes. Everybody else up front, play your gaps, play the run, know what your pass responsibility is, and make your reads and just play as fast as you can once you realize whatever you have.
Have you guys talked about not getting too emotional, like you were saying? Has that been a topic of conversation this week, not getting caught up in the hype?
Yeah, definitely not get caught up in the hype. We watch them on film and everything, and all the outside noise is going to be coming at us all week. But our thing is, we come in here, watch film, make our correction from the previous practices or whatever, and just keep on going. Play our game for the rest of the time, for the rest of the week, and just, play within the scheme.
What role do you play in that as a leader of the defense? You got a lot of young guys on your side of the ball. How do you handle that?
Coach has been, preaching faith and composure all week. And, our biggest thing with especially these young guys is just keeping everyone composed. It's easy for a game like this to get out of hand because guys are too emotional, or, they're thinking too much or trying to make a play when they're simply just not doing their job. So everyone just needs to understand, they're going to make some plays. We're going to make some plays. You just have to keep bouncing back and keep playing hard.
I know that you don't change your prep game to game, but how different is preparing for this game knowing you still have to play next week?
It's the same preparation. Every week is a season.
Coach Muschamp was big after his first game here, 56-7, never forget, and that was a big mantra. What has his approach been this year to keep you guys from getting too emotional? What's his mental approach been this week?
Play hard, play fast, play physical. Believe in the team that we have, especially just be composed because, like I said before, if you get too emotional with these games, you're more likely to make more mistakes. And this week he's just been talking about just the details and finishing plays on both sides of the ball. It's really been about it.
What's your history personally as a in-state guy with this rivalry? Did you grow up rooting for one of these teams? Is this a game that you always watched as a kid, or do you have any real attachment to it other than having played in it now the last 2 years?
I've always watched this game. Growing up in a split family household with my dad being a Carolina fan and my brother being a Clemson fan, I tended to slide with my brother most of the time. So, it's watching the game, all of the fans and stuff, there's always a lot of talk leading up to it and then during the game, and whoever wins has the bragging rights for the year or whatever. But for me, it's a regular game. I know it's a rivalry game, but when you're on the field playing, it's a little bit different.
Especially for the new guys, how do you have to explain to the guys who come in either from out of state or guys who haven't experienced it before? What do you say to them when you try to explain this rivalry?
Regardless of where you're from, you're a Gamecock. if you're on this team, you're expected to, ball out against that upstate team. So it's a rivalry for those guys too. And when they get here, they understand it, especially around this time of the year. I think guys, they definitely buy into it. Whether they stay here or leave or whatever, they just don't really like that team. So I mean,
you won't say their name, huh?
Nah.
Has your brother been converted? Is he a Gamecock now?
Yeah, slowly but surely. He's been buying a lot more Gamecock gear over the past few years, and at first when I first got here, he still watched a lot of their games, but now he's locked in every weekend to see us play.
Is this an older brother or younger?
Older.
What's his name?
Marcus.
How did you get to be a Gamecock fan? Just to aggravate your dad?
He was a Clemson fan?
I mean, a Clemson
yeah,
fan. How did you first get to be a Clemson fan?
I don't really know that story. I was always, younger. He's about 9 years older than me.
Oh, he was?
Yeah, so I didn't really understand but when I was younger, but I just wanted to go against my dad at one point. So it just, it was just something that kind of grew and got older and everything, and recruiting started taking off, and it was a little bit different.
How hard did they recruit you, or how close were you to going there?
They came in my freshman year in high school and kind of fell off after that. So.
How much do you hear about how long it's been since you guys have beaten them, and around town, on the team? How much is that talked about, and how much does it bother you that you want to get it changed?
There's not much to say about that. They've gotten the best of us the past few years, gotten over on us. But I think, coming forward, Coach Muschamp and the whole staff has done a great job of, getting some more talent back in here and getting the program back up and running. And I'm looking forward to it for the next couple of years. But, it's a big game. Everyone just needs to come out and lace up the cleats and play hard.
I know the two guys had circumstances coming in here, but with Josh Belk this year and Caleb last year, what's it like when we have guys who have been on that side and transfer? What's that sort of dynamic like?
They came here to be on our team, so they're a part of our team. They're brothers, regardless of where they came from. You just have to take guys like that, and hopefully they buy in, and those guys are bought in. So, I mean, it hasn't really been anything like anything personal or anything like that.
TJ, do you allow yourself, does the team allow itself to think, hey, we've got a chance to shock college football or really, upend the apple cart?
Sure. Yeah, sure. Like, for me, it's always just been, a regular game every week. You try not to get overly emotional about it, but this is a big game for us that we can shake up the world.
How much does what happened there last time in Death Valley motivate you guys into this game?
A lot of guys were embarrassed. That's definitely a word that you hear being thrown around, but it just makes you want to come out and play hard and not let that happen again, like, ever. For a lot of people, for the guys that were here especially, seniors, the guys who won't play them again. So I'm sure they're going to give it their all. The guys that are playing for them, like me, including myself, everyone just wants to put it all on the field and, be able to leave the field and say that you can't give anymore or you couldn't have done anymore.